I think the hardest challenge facing modern leaders is leading through change and bringing their team with them. The world is volatile at the moment. Everything is changing. We all now have AI in our pocket. Leaders' decisions are going to be questioned more than ever when a member of staff can simply type a question into AI and get the world's answers to that question. So really, I think leadership becomes more about purpose. It becomes more about being mission orientated, because the leaders who are able to amplify what the purpose of the business is, what the purpose of the organisation is, and help people connect to that, are going to be able to bring people with them more readily. So I see coaching as a key feature to work with that executive to navigate what is really quite a complex environment.
I think one of the biggest challenges that I'm seeing regularly, especially dealing with senior board level executives, is time. Things are moving so quickly. They're all under so much time pressure. And often they value just having that time to step away, reflect and think. And if I can provide the space to do that and ask some challenging questions, which maybe their colleagues, they may not be able to get from their colleagues, and for them to open up, then I think that's a great thing, and they certainly seem to value that.
I think it has to be around prioritization, and often that can show up in terms of prioritization of task versus people. So given the amount of change, given the amount of pressure commercially and the technology, it could be easy to spend all one's time as a leader focusing on those things. But of course we have team, and they can enable delivery, and they will have their own changing needs, and we have so many dynamics arising there. So how to be prioritizing amongst those elements. And then I think the interesting part for the leader, and where the coaching really can come in, is helping them to get that crystal clarity for themselves about what that prioritization looks like. Because when they have that, the leaders have that, they can offer that to their teams.
So I think that the biggest challenge which I see leaders facing currently is devising coping mechanisms for themselves and their teams as the working world becomes more complex, more ambiguous, and there's a lot of fear, uncertainty and doubt. And yet, they have to get things done. So coaching allows them a little time away from the day-to-day, from the detail, in order they can get out on the balcony and see what's going on the battlefield below, and also to reflect on their own performance and the levers of their own performance in terms of how they're thinking about this, what emotions are coming with that, how they're experiencing this in their body, and how all of that can come together to create a different way of being when they're in front of people that they're trying to influence and get those people to follow them.
The key challenge that I see leaders facing is being able to juggle absolutely loads. And I see it as being the model that was described by Mike Green and his colleagues. And in this model, the leader is at the centre, and they are having to juggle a number of balls. So there is a tendency when we are under pressure and when we're under stress to drop one or more of those balls. We have a tendency to focus on the things which we are particularly good at, or even actually if we're particularly good at them, we sometimes take for granted that we're doing them and we're not. So what I really like to do in my work is to share this model with leaders so that we can really think about where are their preferences, where are their strengths.
At one level, I would actually challenge the question. I think many of the challenges in some ways at a really foundational level are the same. If you look back at, say, a Roman emperor or a Roman leading a village, actually the core challenges were around people. How do you inspire people? How do you motivate people? And how do you actually personally have grit and resilience within yourself? And what's the order you're going to create? So in the past, the challenges were human challenges fundamentally. There were also technological challenges, but fundamentally human. If you look at it now, the world, actually I think in many ways it is the same. The fundamental challenges are human challenges. Again, how do you motivate your workforce? How do you inspire them? How do you bring the best out of people? How do you get them to follow that vision? And I think if we look to the future, I think it will be similar. I think again, the fundamental challenges are going to be human challenges. And with that, I'm not brushing aside digitisation, AI, which are deeply important. I think probably many of the differences that many leaders can make are going to be with motivating and empowering people.